Hello again, this is PC Delta Link, back with our Enigmatica 2 Let's Play Normal Mode. This is episode 23. We had done a lot of stuff last episode. We had created a lot of machines from Ender.io, like the Soul Binder and the Slice and Splice. We had upgraded our Sag Mill and Alloy Smelter. We created the Painting Machine. We created the Powered Spawner for the Enderman downstairs, and I showed you off a little bit of our expanded base in the lowest area, how we're kind of expanding into this underground river now. And with the addition of all the ender pearls we could want, currently I had 28, but I can get a lot more easily. We can now continue in Botania, because we kind of had to stop in Botania since we needed the ender pearls to make Terra Steel, and we just flat out didn't have them because we just weren't getting them. But now we do have them. We have access to a lot of them. And we're going to end up going mining here in a bit because we need some resources as well. But we're going to start getting a hold of... See, yeah, we only have 3 stacks of iron here. We're going to start getting a hold of a lot of materials, and we're going to get some work on Botania done because I am ready to expand the Botania area again. I have decided that we are going to carve out this area where the waterfalls from above drain down into, and I'm going to start hollowing this out, and this is going to be our second Botania area. That's kind of going to be an offshoot of this. So I am going to get started on that, and I will be back with you guys in a bit because this is going to take a bit of work for me to get this ready. So yeah, I will see you guys shortly. We'll continue on, and yeah, we'll get going on our Botania expansion. So see you all in a bit. Okay, we are back, and I've spent the last... I spent way longer than I thought I would mine. I actually spent a couple hours down there. Ended up upgrading a couple of my chests actually to hold all the stuff, and I've gotten way more materials than I had before. So you'll notice we have a couple new chests here. These are diamond chests. And I will show you the recipe for those since I did craft those kind of off camera here. But they're really not that expensive. This gold to diamond chest upgrade is just 2 diamond, a piece of gold, and 6 glass, any glass. But their storage space is way bigger, so I'm going to give you a compare and contrast here. So here's a gold-sized chest, and then here's diamond. So you can see it's much bigger, and you can see also in here we've done quite a bit of mining. We have a lot of materials, and I didn't grab everything. I just grabbed what I figured I would need for the near future for now. And I'll show you our progress so far on getting the new Botania area started over here. So see, we have kind of hollowed this out a fair amount. And it's gonna be a while before I have this finished, but I can see the room starting to take shape at least. And we ended up breaking into the upper floor up here where our transfer pipes are bringing in the food for the Gore Moraleses. So this might be adjusted a bit later. You can see this is actually a nice little balcony. We're actually going to leave this to be an overlook for this lower area. But in the meantime, and we also create a bridge across this other place as well. We have 2 bridges now going across. And then in time they will be much fancier than that. But for now, yeah, we decided to connect to our under area over here and send this across. This is going to be a little balcony, a little overlook area once it's finished. But for right now, we're just dealing with the very rough shapes of the room. So, what we're going to do... Oh, I thought I could make that jump. So what we are going to do is we are going to focus on... Let me grab my book up here. My Lexica Botania. What we are looking into getting is the portal to Alfheim. So this is a portal that you can create, sort of like a nether portal, except you can't travel through it. But this requires Terra Steel to make. See, Terra Steel nuggets. And then we need these nature pylons. which are from mana pylons, which we have not created mana pylons yet. Some Eyes of Ender. So again, nothing too insane, but we need Terra Steel. And see, this is the shape of the portal we're going to be making. So it requires a constant supply of mana to power it. So, okay, and this isn't too expensive for the mana pylon, just mana diamond and gold and mana steel. So what we're going to be doing, you see we're getting more mana back, I'd use some of it off camera, is we have created 4 more Gore Moralis, and we are going to set those up downstairs. Where did you come from? Must have been because of the rain. He teleported in here. No. Get away from my redstone setup over here. Huh. Okay, anyway. So we're going to set up the 4 more Gore Moralis down here, and probably going to expand this a hair more first. But the portal is going to be on this floor. Probably against this wall, I would guess. I'm probably going to push this wall back a little bit further, but I think it's going to be against that wall. So that's the current plan, is we're going to set that up and get it organized to where we have that. But first thing, I'm going to show you another fun thing we can make here. Is, you know, we were having issues in the past of getting the mana steel, the mana pearl, and the mana diamond onto the plate here. We were trying to throw them out of our inventory, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was usually really awkward trying to throw them to where they landed on the plate, because it'd be easy to overshoot it or see that pearl's not technically on the plate. But thankfully, Botania has a way to fix that. I'm going to need a couple pieces of cobblestone real quick. And that is with the open crate. Now this is made from living wood planks. I know they're such a dark color, it's hard to tell the difference, but this is not living wood like we've got here. That's living wood. These are living wood planks, which are made just like you would make normal planks. Just the block of living wood makes 4 of them. So what this does, and I'm going to set it up here. 1 up is fine. There we go. Yep, that's perfect. So what this does is it drops items perfectly and directly underneath it. Does not screw up in any way, shape, or form. Oh, I can't... Oh, I forgot about that. You can't directly access the inventory on that thing. So I actually need a hopper. Which we can get that. That's no problem at all. So let me go grab that real quick. I can craft one of those very quickly. I have 2 of those. 5 of that. And just let me come over here. So a hopper's a very simple recipe. It's just a chest with 5 iron ingots. And there we go. Hopper. Okay. I forgot you can't directly access the inventory on the open crates. Okay, so in this case we just take our little hopper and just put it on a side. And now we can throw our items as needed into the hopper, and they will go through the open crate and drop down perfectly below. So just like that. And you see it just lands them perfectly on the plate. So now I don't have to try to keep throwing them on there like we were doing. So we'll get a couple more pieces of Terra Steel here. Because now that we have Ender Pearls, we can get more of this Terra Steel. Really, we can get all of it we'll need. See, this does use a significant amount of mana, so we are going to need more in the coming days. The other thing we're going to be doing pretty soon is we are going to start a... There's a couple things we're going to be doing as well. Because we're not quite ready to set this up yet. But one thing we're going to grab real quick, if I can find it. No, not baubles. Miscellaneous? Nope. Ah, here we go. The Botanical Brewery. This is for making some of the potions that Botania has. It has its own special potion setup that you can do. And it's just made with living rock, a brewing stand, block of mana steel, and a rune of mana. Now, we already have some of this set up here. Or we will very shortly. So there's our Rune of Mana. Now, a brewing stand is very cheap. It's just 3 cobblestone across, and then a blaze rod. And that gets your brewing stand. So there's that. There's our Rune of Mana. And we need a mana steel block, which is just like that. And then 6 living rock. So not expensive at all. And this is a cool little block. I love how this thing looks. So it's just going to float there like that. Now, this does require mana to work. And we're not ready to start brewing potions yet. So we're actually going to take this mana spreader and direct it toward the botanical brewery. But that means we need another mana spreader to handle the runic altar over here. So we're going to make another mana spreader. Just like that. I did not mean to put that there. I was trying to open the chest. There we go. We need our Wand of the Forest. Because this is going to go right there. And this is going to go right there. And so see, now we have that set up. So we should be done with the Wand of the Forest now. And you see we have a bit of Terra Steel already. We've got 11 of this now. And that's actually probably enough to get the basic materials we need. So let's see. I know we need some Terra Steel nuggets. And we need some living wood, which we've got. Was it this shape? Yeah, Elven Gateway Core. So that's the block that we click to activate once we're all set up here. We need 3 Glimmering Living Wood, which I believe is this. Yes, it is. So that's not too expensive either. And then we'll just need the shape of the portal set up downstairs, and then, of course, our pylons that we have to get. Which we're going to need some gold for that, and some mana steel, and some other stuff. So I'm going to work downstairs a little bit more and get kind of the area set up for this thing, for the portal, and I will be back with you guys in a little bit once I have this area more finalized downstairs. So give me just a few minutes. Okay, wanted to show you what we've got set up so far down here. This is where our portal's going to be. We have the basic shape of it, but it's not done yet. These are where our Gore Moraleses are going to be. We're going to have 2 on each side, because this thing will require a constant supply of mana to stay active. So this is going to be our setup. Our hourglass is going to be over here. We're going to have our floating torch right there. Okay. Now, one thing we need is we have to have 2 more mana pools, because these have to have a way to hold the mana from here. So let me have this. So yeah, we simply need 2 pools. Then we need 2 mana pylons, which we've got the ingredients for it. Mana steel, mana diamond, 2 gold. So I need 2 of these. Let me go ahead and grab 1 more. And then we need nature of pylons, which we need 2 of these. Oh, we need Eye of Ender, which we do not have. But I can go get that real quick. Oh, we're running out of food here. Let me eat up real quick. Okay. Alright, so Eye of Ender should just be blaze powder and ender pearl. Yes, it is. Then we might need some more gold as well, so I'm going to grab a little bit more of that. And maybe some more iron, just in case we need mana steel. Okay, so nature pylon, and there we go. There's 2 nature pylons. So, all right, this. Well, if I can break it, there we go. 1 mana pool there. And 1 mana pool there, and then we have the pylon floating above it, just like that. So we're going to have these 2 flowers feeding this pool, and these 2 flowers feeding this pool. So the next thing we need, just like before, is we need our floating hourglass. There it is, hovering hourglass. And there's 2 of that. Alright, now the next step I'm going to do off camera because it's going to take me a little bit. But we have to supply these droppers with the food they need. Just like we did up here with these droppers coming from the baked potato and the bread. We have to be able to supply these down here. So that's going to take me a little bit to figure out a way to do that. So I will get that set up and we will be back again. And then I'll show you kind of the setup that I figured out on how to do for that. So be right back again, but just wanted to show you our progress as we keep building this. Okay, so we've done a bit of work on getting the piping set up for supplying our Gormoralises down here. And I'll kind of show you what we did. The easiest way to start with is just going to be coming up here. So I just kind of split off from the pipes that were coming in. So got 1 coming down there and 1 coming down there. And these are slowly filling back up because part of this is being diverted right now since it's filling up the other barrels and whatnot. But I'll show you where these link up to. It's back here. You see we got a drawer here and a drawer here that's supplying this set of droppers. And then we have another set on the other side. And you see this is still, this isn't even filled up yet. And this only has 12 stacks, but this is also supplying the bread and the baked potatoes on this side. So we do have our sustainable food supply over here. I'm gonna put extra torch there. So yeah, it's functional, it works, it's not pretty, and since this is kind of a maintenance area, I probably won't ever really upgrade this back here or do much work on it to speak of. But yeah, it works, and that's all that really matters right now. And actually, we'll be able to turn off our upstairs shortly because we're pretty much full of mana up here again, and I really don't need any more of it for right now. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now. Just mark that as the side that has to be dealt with next time. Because see, our pools are full. I mean, these are almost to the brim up here. We really don't need them running at the moment. And I know these are loud when they keep clicking and turning over, but I really don't know a way to change that. In the meantime, down here we have been storing up quite a good amount of mana. You can see both pools are about half. So they are perfectly fine on their mana, and we definitely have enough now to open the gateway. So you can see we have our finished portal here with the glimmering living wood in the middle of each side, and then our elven gateway core down here. And so how you activate this is all you do is right-click the gateway core with the Wand of the Forest, which we are going to do now. And you see, there we go. It creates the portal. You can see the pylons are sending mana to the gateway core. And you see that used a little bit. So between both of them, about a quarter of a mana pool to open that. So really not that expensive. Now, how this thing works is you can't, like, go into it. See, like, I'm not being transported anywhere. You can't actually go anywhere in this portal. But what you can do is throw items in here, and you'll get different items back. So, the first thing you do, always, whenever you open this portal, is the first thing you will always do, every time. You take your Lexica Botania and throw it in the portal. And you see it looks different now. It's upgraded. And if you open it, you'll see that it has a fancy little elven guard seal, and they have a greeting for you saying that they saw a portal open and they saw your book fly through. And so basically they agree to share their knowledge with you, the elven knowledge. And so how this kind of works is like all these entries that are in green, that have the green text over them, those are added by throwing the book in here. See, those entries were invisible before. We could not read them. So now when you look at a lot of our stuff here, we have a lot of new baubles, new rods, new accessories. Just a lot of new stuff that we can mess around with now. Yeah, there's new flowers. Yeah, new generating flora, Cacurmius, Dandelion, Rafflesia, Spectralis. And the other thing you can do is you could take some of the items from Botania up here and trade them with the portal downstairs. So, just kind of demonstrate. Actually, we'll do 8. And we'll just do 2 in each portal here, or pool. There we go. Now, it usually has to be a Botania item, so like Mana Steel, that kind of thing. But like, for instance, Mana Steel, if you throw it in the portal, well, if you try to throw it in the portal, oh right, it's 2 to 1. So 2 Mana Steel gets you 1 Elementium ingot. Interesting glitch there, how if I look at the wrong angle it disappears, but it's still there as you saw, because I was still getting my stuff. So yeah, we now have access to some of the higher tier miscellaneous items needed for some of the quests. And what we're going to be doing at some point, where's Affluency? Here we go. This, the Ritual of Gaia. This is the boss added by Botania, and killing him gives you what are known as Gaia spirits. I'm going to walk away from the portal while I talk. Yeah, it gives you what are known as Gaia spirits, which are required to craft some of the top-level gear in Botania. But you see, you'll need these Gaia pylons. You need 4 of them. Pixie dust, I believe, is Ender. Yeah, mana pearls in the portal. You see this nice little infographic telling you how to get them, too, which is really nice. Yeah, and see, you have to have a beacon as well. So I had said we were going to have to kill the Wither. Again, this is partially why. Because, yeah, we need this set up for the Wither. So yeah, 4 Gaia pylons. And then you have to sacrifice a piece of Terra Steel in order to summon the Gaia Guardian, he's called. Now, full disclosure, I've never managed to kill him. I tried to fight him on the expert world back when I was in that place, and it did not end well. I tried more than once to take him down in the expert world, and we had 0 luck on that, unfortunately. But there's a couple other things I can do real quick that are kind of handy. For starters, I'd like to get a Terra Blade, which is kind of a very powerful, well, I wouldn't say very powerful, but fairly powerful sword you can create in this pack. It's from a Living Wood Twig and 2 Terra Steel. So not super expensive either. And there we go. And anyone who's played Terraria should recognize this sword. For certain. Because this is the Terra Blade from Terraria. And you can see it fires off little mana shots. So it actually gives you a ranged attack. Which is really cool. And it does fair damage. It's nothing insanely good, but it's not bad either. I mean, me see if I can find some poor sap out here real quick. Oh, I see somebody over here. That did 12 damage. That wasn't bad. So how's that compare with our 7? Okay, listed as 7. Our current one's 16. So yeah, it's less damage than our current sword, sure, but our current sword... Oh yeah, here we go. And the range on this is decent. You can see I hit him all the way over here. See, look at that. That's actually pretty nice for a sword. So sometimes this might even be your first decent ranged weapon like this. I hear a skeleton. Odd. Whatever. Alright, so next... Is there anything else I need to make out of this right this second? I'd like to do these thorn chakras, but I do not have the vines to create them currently. We will get there eventually, though. Not in particular. In the element... We are going to be crafting this, but we do not have these Ender Air bottles. That comes from the end, so that's going to be a while. And see, like right here, we could upgrade the Sojourner Sash, but we have to have a Gaia Spirit for that. So I'd love to do that, but we can't. We can upgrade our Nimbus Amulet, or our Cirrus Amulet, but we need Gaia Spirit. Noticing a trend here. Yeah, Elven Mana Spreaders are basically just more efficient Mana Spreaders. They are able to hold more and shoot more at once, so they're good for longer distance if you need to. Yeah, Slime in a Bottle, Ring of Far Reach, a Great Fairy Ring. Some of this is stuff that we would never really use, like the Elementium leggings and whatnot. It's decent enough armor, but our armor's just better. Alright, so let's see. Before I end this episode, I'm going to kind of show you what I have in mind that we're going to start on next. Because we're going to be trying to do more on Botania, but we need to fight the Gaia Guardian, and we're not ready to do that yet. We need a few different items first. We had to have an arena set up for him. Because basically when you summon him in that little ritual circle I showed you, you're stuck in there. The game locks you into that area. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you're locked in there, you can leave. But he'll despawn if you run out of the arena. So you basically just waste the Terra Steel and waste your time. Let's see. So we need to fight the Wither. We need to get a beacon for that, so that requires the Wither, and I'd mentioned we were going to get a room set up for him. It might be a temporary room, but for now at least it's a room for it. Let's see, what else do we need? We are also going to need to have... we're going to have to get to the end pretty soon, actually. But before we do that, we're going to have some stuff from a mod we have not touched yet, known as Draconic Evolution. It's a fairly late game mod, but we're going to have it to get some of the gear I'm wanting to take down the Ender Dragon, because that's not something I'm just going to walk in there and do. Another thing is we're going to be expanding our power supply pretty soon. We have a lot of stuff to do, as you can tell. And I'm going to put that new power supply in here. That's why I have this room kind of dug out over here. This is kind of the starting setup I'm getting toward that end. So it's going to be a bit still, but I have a lot of plans for what we're going to be doing next on here. And then we're also going to be getting a new storage system in the next 4 or 5 episodes probably, because we're just starting to outgrow this, unfortunately. It served us well for a long time, but we just need more. And then we're also going to be... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have to do. Huh. Just thinking about all the stuff I had to go through. So yeah, I think for now that's probably going to do it for this episode. I got to show you the construction of the beginnings of this room being constructed. This will be a long time before I finish this. We had the portal. We have it active and going. We have access to it. We are gaining mana. So you can see from last time we have... So this is self-sustainable, clearly. So that's good. And yeah, we got our first trade. We got our book upgraded, so we have all the new resources in here. So yeah, I think that's a good spot to end this episode. Next episode, we're probably going to look at getting a hold of the Wither and fighting him. So, hope you all have a good day, and I will see you next time.